Hello everyone, welcome back to Luigi's Mansion. And if you've seen the title of the video, you're probably wondering what we're doing back here. But when I did my playthrough of this a few years back, I felt like I did a pretty good job thoroughly exploring this game and talking about it. But one of the things I highlighted and never showed was that if you come down to here to the options menu and roll down to the bottom, you have a little movie here. And I didn't show it at the time because it wasn't really relevant to the game or, you know, the playthrough. But before I get started playing Pikmin, I have to show you what initially got me and my brother to purchase the game. So here we go. So now that you're all caught up, welcome to Pikmin. Now, that was like unheard of at the time, you know, coming from the N64 and, you know, other more primitive consoles, I guess, where you have a promo for another game coming out on, you know, a game you already bought. Like, it's crazy. I mean, I know they don't do that now. I mean, you have the internet, but I remember rewatching that trailer so many times just to, like, just catching a glimpse, like, oh, I wonder what that game's like. I wonder, you know, it looks so fun, looks so great and everything. So sadly this one doesn't come with anything, but still, it was great. And the coolest part is that Luigi's Mansion released in November of 2001, which was a launch title for the GameCube, and Pikmin actually came out like a little over a month later, if that even. So you know, we didn't buy the game at first. Actually, we actually rented it from Hollywood Video. But anyways, enough blabbering on. Let's get into it. It's kind of funny. You're actually like, after just watching that video and then coming into this, it kind of almost looks like we're back in 2001, like experiencing it for the first time on a brand new GameCube. Oh my god, he's gonna hit us! Oh my god, he's gonna hit something, alright. It was right in front of you. How did that hit you? I mean, I guess he was like looking off to the right maybe, and it was coming in from the other side. Oh no. The impact site. So you know what's great about this is that even if you hadn't seen that preview, like the one I showed you, like that intro just, I mean, just tells you everything you need to know. Like, you're traveling space guy, got hit by an asteroid, and then if you really couldn't tell what was going on, then you'll see it here. My name is Captain Olimar. When traveling through space, my ship was struck by a meteor. I must have blacked out, and I awoke on the surface of a weird planet. With so many parts lost, the skeletal hull of my beloved dolphin is a painful sight. The engine is gone. I'm stranded. To make matters worse, my atmospheric sensors indicate this planet's environment contains high levels of poisonous oxygen. My life support systems can function for only 30 days. If I can't repair the dolphin by then, no. Better not think about it. I must find the missing ship parts. So, yeah, this is the first instance, the first gameplay of us being able to control this character called Captain Olimar. And we really can't do much right now except like waddle around. Not even the camera does anything, but I mean it adds to the atmosphere of just feeling lost and, you know, stranded. And all we just need is one part just to make the ship move at least, but I don't even see it. Hello? Hello? And also, don't mind my erratic movement right now. It's actually, I'm using a pretty faulty controller. I might replace it right now, actually, because it's starting to bother me. Oh, you know, I'll keep playing it. At least, you know, as long as this day goes. So we run into this giant bulb-y looking thing. I know what it is. I'm playing along, you know. A strange thing has appeared before me. I'd barely begun my search when it reared up as if it were waiting for me. It then dropped a single seed. What is it? Is it alive? Is it a machine? It resembles a vegetable on my home planet that we call an onion. I shall call this an onion too. So, after running into the onion, we now get more control, and we can zoom out the camera. We can do this to look like we're looking down at it, which is really cool. Kind of impractical to play with, but I mean, it really sells that, you know, like you're like a bird's eye view, you know, like you're actually watching this happen on the ground. So, as you can see, we walk towards this little seed. The seed that the onion dropped took root in the soil and has now produced an adorable little sprout. This sprout emits a strange light and it sways back and forth without benefit of wind. I cannot help but think it is calling to me. I'm compelled. I must approach it and press A. And he must have hit his head really hard. I mean, imagine in real life if after waking up it's like, to open this door I must hit the action command. Extraordinary! When I plucked the sprout, it turned out to be a living creature, not a plant. Picking it has done no visible damage. It just stands there, staring at me. Its shape is similar to the Pick brand character I love so much. I believe I shall call it a Pikmin. Here I am, stranded on a toxic planet, fighting to survive, and yet I'm intrigued. I must research this fascinating creature. I shall try to grab it and throw it with A, and I will call it to my side with B. Perhaps it will react to C and X as well. So it gives you a lovely little highlight of, you know, what buttons to press. You know, in case, you know, you're really new to this console. And then he kind of shows you what I was just showing you about changing the camera. I must survive. I must familiarize myself with my surroundings. So, I already showed the camera controls, but I'm going to zoom out for this. So, as he said, hitting B, or hitting A will throw the Pikmin. And then if you hit B, you'll use your little whistle to call it back to you. And then he says C and X will work as well. So, hitting the X button kind of like makes it turn pale and just, you know, just sitting there. What does this Pikmin think of me? I must observe its reactions. The more things I try, the more reactions I can catalog. Huh. Okay, truth be told, I've never seen this dialogue pop up before. Really interesting. Every time we do a playthrough, like, something brand new always just happens. I was just kind of like talking and moving around, but yeah, so... Yeah, and it's also doing the same thing when you throw it and leave it alone. It kind of just like idles there. And then your little cursor that you see, the little circle around you, that seems to control the, like, where your whistle's being directed at. So, once again, I know all this stuff. I'm just trying to inform you just to, you know, you the viewer, to kind of get a hold of things. So, I'm going to zoom the camera back out. And if we come over here, we'll see there's like a flower of sorts. Has a 1 on it. So... let's try throwing our Pikmin on it. And it kind of attacks it. Now here's a good opportunity to show what the C-stick does on the GameCube controller. So rotating it around kind of controls the Pikmin around me. So I can make them like kind of do, you know, jitter about. But if we do that around an object it can pick up, it'll hone in on it and then pick it up. And in this case, it took it back to the onion. Astonishing. The onion has sown more seeds. The small red pellet the Pikmin harvested after cutting down a flower appears to be some type of food that can propagate more Pikmin. The onion seems to be some sort of incubator. Needless to say, I must study this strange life form some more. So, I'm going to throw this Pikmin at the that flower. And I'm going to pluck some more Pikmin while I'm at it. And now if I use C-stick, move it around, it'll do the same thing, except now, as you can see, they're multiplying. They're multiplying! They're growing! Oh no. So, we quickly, very quickly I might add, went from just having one single Pikmin to now 2. Or, not, well, 3, and then now 5. Can't count, apparently. So, now that we have 5 Pikmin, you know, it's like, so what? What can we do? Let's look around some more. Maybe there's something... Oh, what's this? So, we see a similar little pellet that we saw to the other one. It's running up to it. Has a 5 on it. You know... I know I couldn't add earlier, but if you're able to kind of put 2 and 2 together and roam your Pikmin around on it, they're able to pick it up, no problem. Carrying it kind of slow, but I mean, hell, at least I don't have to carry it, so I can't complain too much. Just stand in front of it. I'll make it harder for you guys. Oh, they pushed me out of the way. So, if a 1 pellet, you know, puts out 2, how much does a 5 do? Let's see. Alright, Daria, let's see if I can count. Got everybody watching you, don't embarrass yourself. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, oh, it's only 5, okay. So nothing special. Alright, so now we got 10 of these little suckers. There was actually a pellet over here. Another flower, so... there was some more at it. And you see they take her... I mean, they're fighting flowers. I mean, come on, that's kind of unfair. So let's look around, see if we can find any more. Increase our numbers. Let's see. No, don't really see anything I can do. Beautiful looking scenery, though. That's one of the things I always loved about this game. And one of the ones that... one of the reasons we did get it. I mean, aside from the story being interesting, because, I mean, at the same... you know, you play a lot of Nintendo games, and, you know, if Link or Mario or Kirby or whoever dies, like... you know, as long as you have an extra life, and even if you don't, like, you know, they'll come back. They're okay. They're not dead, but... here's, like, a Nintendo game at the time was very intriguing because, like... this character states in the beginning his oxygen can only last 30 days, and after that he's dead. Like, there ain't no extra lives to get or anything to do. Like, no, you're dead. He's dead. So, just kind of fascinating, kind of interesting. Like, you know, the GameCube was really new at the time, and the graphics were, you know, beyond what the N64 can do. So I think the story also helped really hone that in, how more, I guess, serious the console was. So couldn't really find anything else hiding around here. You may notice, though, we got a little box over here. It has the number 10 on it. So let's try swarming our Pikmin around it. And looks like 10 was an indicator to how much it needed. It was needed to push the box. Now, I don't know what this box originally was used for. I mean, maybe some apples, like a 10 count of apples or something, but, you know. Let's just be grateful. Let's be grateful it didn't have a 50 on that, because, yeah, then Olimar would be dead. The Pikmin are curious as children. They form groups to perform tasks that would be impossible for an individual. A glimmer of hope has begun to shine in my heart. If I can make use of their skills, perhaps I can fix my ship. I shall sum up all I've learned of Pikmin conduct. Approach and press A to pick sprouts. Press A to grab Pikmin, release to throw. Press B to call them, X to dismiss, C to command, L, R, and Z to control perspective. I shall record all this to my computer. I can press Y to access the computer. Just so you know, as a kid, I didn't read any of this. So I hope you're able to follow along a little bit better. So if you hit Y real quick, tells you how much Pikmin, like you see the impact site where we are currently. Right below that, you see a little image of Olimar with Pikmin, number 3, the Onion with 0, and Free 11. I'll get into that like a few more parts ahead, and then a good refresher on what each one is. I don't want to overwhelm you guys, like in case you never played this game. So if we come over here, if you remember the trailer I showed you from the beginning. Amazing! There's no mistaking it. My ship's engine rests before my very eyes. By a stroke of pure luck, I've already stumbled upon the most important piece of my damaged craft. Fate has smiled upon me. But how will I get it back to my dolphin? And this is a pretty good indicator that to carry him. But we seem to have stumbled upon a little issue. It requires 20, as you can see that number at the top says, and we only have 14. So let's look around a little bit more. Oh my god, I just gotta look at these. It looks so beautiful. Like, even nowadays, like, almost 20 years after this game came out, it still looks gorgeous. So, we got a lot of pellets here that we can pick up and use. So, this is going to be your first instance of delegating tasks. So, have one Pikmin carry each pellet back. And then we'll swarm the rest of the Pikmin around the big one. And so, as you see, the blue number at the top says, you know, 5, but we're able to put 10 on it. Now, you can put more Pikmin than required on a carryable object. Now, the reason you want to do that is because, as you just saw, like, they start carrying it faster. So, keep that in mind. You know, give a good look at the lay of the land some more. Now, the Pikmin series has always been kind of odd, not in a bad way, but obviously not as, I mean, I think people remember the Pikmin and remember the characters and the design and stuff like that, but the actual gameplay doesn't have a lot of players, if I recall, especially like a lot of new players. When many Pikmin seeds sprout at once, I find it rather tedious to pluck them from the ground individually. My wife always told me I was no good at routine tasks. I guess I'll try to get it all done at once by repeatedly tapping A until I pick all the Pikmin from the ground. I've noticed that when I add Pikmin in my group, they become filled with excitement and flushed with bright color. At other times, they revert to a paler hue and give off a dim glow. Paying close attention to these differences is bound to help me distinguish between Pikmin. So, as he was saying, if you tap A while pulling up Pikmin, he'll just automatically run to them. You don't have to run to each individual one and pull them. Oh, there's 2 more. But yeah, what I was saying about Pikmin was that it was it's a series people know but not really played, and you'll see why if you stick through this playthrough and watch it. It definitely is different than platformers like Mario or adventure games like Zelda. So we'll get into that another time. get this. Oh, wow, look at that. Oh, the leaf's disappearing. Oh no. Alright, so now this required 20. Now we have 25. So if we swarm our Pikmin around it, they'll be able to carry it, no problem. Now there's going to be an issue if they carry it to the onion. The onion's going to take off without me. But let's see what they do. But as you can see, like right now, like after putting the Pikmin to a task, like there's really nothing else for you to do, at least on this particular day. But yeah, you're just kind of waiting around. Now this isn't going to be the whole game. Usually there's going to be a lot of tasks you have to manage at once. They're kind of starting you off really simple. But I mean, think about someone playing this for the first time, like, you know, used to those other Nintendo games, and they're just like, what do I do? You know. And then what's also interesting, I guess, well, not really interesting, but I'll just show it off. I can call the Pikmin off of whatever task they're doing, and they'll just come off of it. And if you hit the X button while standing next to an object, they'll all just kind of like automatically go to it just to kind of do something. So it's fixed! I can go home! Oh, well. Still looks a little bit like a hoopty. Oh, glorious. With the help of these Pikmin, I've taken a huge step back toward home. My ship can once again lift off. The glimmer of hope is beginning to burn more brightly. But what has become of the remaining parts? That search starts tomorrow. So as you can see, at the end of the day, he'll... Oh, okay, that one little straggler Pikmin is... he's gone. He took too long to get back in the onion. But yeah, so at the end of the day, he blows his whistle, they get back to the onion, and looks like they came with us, too. 1 day since impact. I've somehow managed to launch the dolphin, but I was surprised to see the onion lift off with me. Perhaps the Pikmin cannot survive overnight on the planet's surface, or have they merely decided to join me for other reasons? Either way, it seems they will help me again tomorrow. The dolphin is missing 29 parts. If I can't recover them all, I may never return home to my family on Hoko Tate. Analysis shows life support systems will function for only 29 more days. How can I repair my dolphin in such a short time? A dense forest is visible on the surface below. As it holds the keys to my survival, I named it the Forest of Hope. I explore it tomorrow. So at the end of each day, you know, of your adventuring, it'll give you this little stat screen of how many Pikmin you sprouted, died, or left behind. In the case, as you saw, you know, that little straggler Pikmin, it made it. It was fine. But this will start making more sense the more we play the game, but just take a good look at it, because you're going to see it about 20 more times. So you get an option to save the game. You know, maybe if you had a bad day, you don't want to save and want to, you know, try it again. If only real life was like that, huh? So in the next part, we're going to be going to the Forest of Hope and seeing what happened. Or, you know, seeing what's new. Seeing how many more parts we can find, as you can see in the in the bottom right screen. If you hit the Y button here, you can jump into the voyage log and take a look at his diary. So anyways, I almost don't want to end it, but I'm gonna start the second part right afterwards. So anyways, thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoy this, and hope you enjoy this journey of Pikmin that we're about to go on. So see you guys then. Hello everyone, welcome back to Luigi's Mansion. Linguini's Mansion? What the fuck?